looking different, feeling awkward sometimes, growing up in Minnesota as a half Filipino person. Did you experience discrimination, racial discrimination, microaggressions?
Even as a child, I knew that like when my father would take me and my sister's like a year younger than me, would take me and my sister out without my mother, you know, maybe he would get some looks because he's this big, tall white man with red hair and a beard. He's got these two little Asian kids that look like twins. So maybe he got some looks, but I mean,
never. Not from your classmates, not from friends at school or people at school.
The most discrimination I think I got was for me being gay.
Yes.
And this is before I had even really accepted it or even recognized it within myself. And so it was something that, you know, I thought that I was able to cover up or lie about. And when people would call me out for it, I think that was the most painful and most hurtful.
As a member of the members of the LGBTQ community, and we know this, have been grappling with, you know, hate crimes, hate incidents. They're being targeted. You guys, you did mention earlier about being called out. What about being dragged too?
Well, I mean, when I was in high school, I wasn't really a drag queen. I didn't start doing drag. I didn't even come out until I was already well into my college years.
Okay.
I was coerced out of the closet, almost pushed out of the closet. And it was probably, at the time, it was very devastating because like everything that I had kind of set up for myself and what I knew was kind of turned upside down. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And once I learned to really just own who I was, it no longer, I took that power. So if someone called me a gay slur on the street, it's like, well, I know I'm gay, so that's not really, that's not really hurtful, you know what I mean? So I mean, I'm not trying to cover it up anymore, so it doesn't really have the same effect on me. So that's kind of, you know, where I kind of eventually like figured it out. And drag really did help me do that, because when I started to be more active in the gay community, this was a way for me to, I could put on a really fabulous outfit. I could go out this is when I moved to New York City. I could go out to the clubs or the bars, and you know, I was celebrated because I was just so stunning. I mean, drag has its perks.
I can imagine that was liberating for you too, because that's your authentic self.
Yeah, and when I got to get dressed up, it really like unleashed this part of me that I had been holding down, suppressing, and not recognizing and not nourishing and not feeding that part of me. And when it came out, it was like, finally.
There's so much hate directed to Asians. There's so much hate directed to people of color. There's so much hate directed to people in different kinds of religions, practicing different kinds of religion, or even the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, I mean, all of these groups that are being persecuted, right? The key is that the fear and that the mongering and the attacks on these groups, they really want you to stop being who you are, right? And that is the goal of all of that vitriol. And I say, you know, I'm running this campaign being who I am, and it's resonating with folks. And instead of cowering in fear, you know, we are gonna stay and be bolder. And we're gonna keep making it so, like, this won't be an exception. This will be normalized. Our community will become accepted. It will take time, but we need folks stepping out and being who they are unabashedly in the face of fear and persecution. And that's, I believe, just like so important for us. So keep staying visible and true to who you are, as comfortably as you can within the spaces that you operate in.